Why is Israel adamant to attack a small city in Gaza with more than 1.3 million people? This is the story of the Rafah city and its people. There's a threat of new and devastating level of violence in Gaza. There's panic because Israel is preparing for a massive ground offensive on Rafah city. The United Nations aid chief has warned that such an offensive could lead to a slaughter and leave humanitarian efforts in Gaza at death's door. Where is Rafah and why the entire world is warning Israel against intensifying attacks, even its closest allies? Rafah is a small city in the south of the Gaza Strip on the border with Egypt. Before the war started, it was home to around 250,000 people. But since Israel's attacks, Gazans from the north have taken shelter here in refugee camps, and now it's home to an estimated 1.5 million people. Rafah is also the main entry point for desperately needed relief supplies. What is Israel saying? That brings us back to the question, why is Benjamin Netanyahu adamant on attacking a small city with over 1 million people? The answer is Israel wants Hamas to surrender. It claims that Rafah is Hamas's bastion. 4 Hamas brigades are present there, and its operation is an effort to flush out the terrorists and release the hostages. In its defense, Israel also claims that it's preparing a safe passage for the civilians. But the problem is, nobody knows about Israel's evacuation plan and where will the Palestinians go. South of Gaza was the only place left after Israel's military battered the north. There is no safe place in Gaza. In the latest, Israel has already started its airstrikes in Rafah on Monday. 100 people were killed in the strikes and 2 hostages were freed. Life in Rafah is an unending nightmare. Palestinians are tired of the war, running from one unsafe place to another, fleeing one city for another. There is death, starvation, thirst and hunger. No diapers for children, no sanitary pads for women, no life. There are fears of disease outbreaks in makeshift camps. Israel's allies and the international community is anxious. Its key ally, the United States of America, has already warned that it will not back any ground operation in Rafah without a credible plan for protecting civilians. China has urged Israel to stop its military operation in Rafah as soon as possible, warning of a serious humanitarian disaster. Ireland has accused Israel of becoming blinded by rage. Germany has said this offensive would completely jeopardize the humanitarian situation, because the people in Rafah cannot simply vanish into thin air. They need safe places and safe corridors to avoid being caught in the crossfire even more. Gaza's neighbor, Egypt, has made it clear that it will not allow a refugee exodus over the border. And South Africa. The South African government has made an urgent request to the International Court of Justice to stop Israel. All eyes are on Egypt's capital, where representatives from the US, Egypt, Israel and Qatar are in the capital to secure a 6-week ceasefire in Gaza and a release of hostages by Hamas. The question is, can the world stop Israel?